everyone. My name is Dawn Jones, and I manage the Employment Services Department here at Cleveland Site Center. I've been a manager here at Cleveland Site Center for about 2 years, which is exciting because this is one of the most rewarding and possibly best position that I've had thus far in my career. And it's just I can't speak highly enough of the agency, but enough about me. Let's talk about employment services, shall we? But before I do, I would like to do a few housekeeping here. I would like to discuss with you what we do, how we do it, where we do it, and with whom we do it for. Hopefully by the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding and appreciation for what employment services does, to help our clients really achieve their employment objectives by helping them to realize their fullest potential and shaping the community's vision of that potential. Before we get started, I would like to ask a question of you. If you would, please, throughout my presentation, just think about someone that you may know who has a work-limiting disability or who has a low or no vision. Do they work? Are they in school? Have you ever thought about that person and compared them with someone who doesn't have a disability? Do you think they had the same opportunities? Something to think about, because I think about it every day. Not because I have to, I should, but because I truly believe that individuals with disabilities should have the same opportunities as their typical peers. And with that being said, let's talk about employment services, shall we? Because it all ties in. So, employment services, you should know the history, and I'll give you a brief history of it before we move on. About over 114 years ago, a little bit more, the soldiers were returning from World War I. They were injured. They could no longer perform the same tasks they performed prior to the war. So our government decided to put in place services and people to help them to obtain work. So they took assessments, they had service, or we call now social workers, in place to help them to be successful. And that, my friend, is the birth of social work and of employment services. If you need further information about the history of employment services, please you can look up any vocational rehabilitation services and the history of it, and it'll give you a complete idea of what we do and why we do it. Employment services started here at Cleveland Site Center a few decades ago. And the reason for the need for our department is basically because of statistics. Did you know that individuals with disabilities are less likely to complete a higher learning degree, a bachelor's or more? Did you know that 29% of individuals with disabilities are currently working? Wait a minute. If that means that 71% are either unemployed or underemployed. Did you also know that 70% of that percentage are individuals with low or no vision? So who are we? Well, Employment Services is a CARF accredited department, meaning the services that we provide adheres to a certain quality and standardized procedures to help our clients to be successful. We reduce barriers and increase confidence. We do this by providing what we call an individualized placement and support model. This is a place and train model. It helps our clients develop the skills necessary so that they can be successful in finding work in a competitive, integrated environment and receive competitive wages. So let's talk about barriers, shall we? You heard me mention them before. Well, I have the top 3 barriers that I think are most significant in preventing our clients from obtaining and keeping work on their own. That would be transportation, client confidence, and employer bias. Let's talk about transportation. Our clients have low or no vision, and they must, and when they want to work, they have to get there, right? So they have to use public transportation. They can't drive themselves. So they utilize what we call paratransit. Paratransit is a door-to-door service. Well, sometimes our clients can get to work at least 2 hours before, or maybe even 2 hours after their shift has started. Either way, some employers frown upon that. Also, paratransit doesn't run in certain rural areas, which leaves those clients without transportation at all. They must lean on their families for support. Then we have confidence. Individuals with low or no vision are often told, "You can't do that. I couldn't imagine you doing that." Well, don't do that. That's scary. They've heard that time and time again throughout their lives. Hearing that, your confidence is pretty low, right? So we must build their skill set and their confidence in order to help them to achieve a job and, most importantly, keep that job. And then there is employer bias. A lot of times, what I found is that bias is based on their own fears. Most individuals, including myself, would rather lose a limb than to lose my sight. Because if I lost my sight, that means that I'm very dependent on the people around me in this big old scary world. So when our clients go for interviews and they are shooting their best shot, employers are busy thinking about how they wouldn't be able to complete those tasks because they would be fearful. And that automatically sometimes disqualifies them from positions that they truly deserve and are qualified for. So who are our clients? Our clients come to us through 2 separate partners. The first partner is Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities. They refer our clients to us for various services. Those clients range from ages 14 and up. Why 14? Well, 14 is the typical age when students begin to think about transitioning from school to either post-secondary education or to work, or maybe even a training. These clients qualify for what we call pre-employment transitional services to receive the education that they need for careers, post-secondary, or employment, or even to advocate for themselves. And then we receive referrals, self-referrals from Social Security's Ticket to Work program. The Social Security Ticket to Work program is a program that allows individuals who are receiving SSI, Social Security Income, or SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. Those individuals receive an imaginary ticket that says you can now try to go to work. Sometimes they're successful and sometimes they're not, and that is the purpose of the program, to gain financial independence while helping the clients receive the skills necessary to go to work. Those clients are usually between the ages of 18 and 64. You may be asking yourself right now, why? Why does employment services, why do the people that work in that department do what they do? You understand now that individuals with work-limiting disabilities, including those who have low or no vision, require our assistance to find and keep work. You understand the barriers that they face. You understand the services that we provide and even our history. But shall I share with you really why we do what we do? We believe they can. Simply put, when we look at someone, I look at their abilities, not their disabilities. We understand that they are people first before they are their disability. We understand that they should have the same opportunities afforded to them as typical peers. That is why. And before I let you go, I want you to really take a look in your own world at individuals with disabilities, seen and unseen, and really reach out to them to see what you could do to help them feel a part of this world. That's all for now.